It's one thing to have a stock that is low, but we want a stock that wants to go high, and there's no indication of that yet. Tesla wants to rebound on 240.89. We closed at 247.03, up $2.15. That's 0.88%. And post-market, we seem to be up by another 22 cents. So let's take a look at what we have here on the chart. So last Friday, we had a big move down, super big move down right here. And this is where we have drawn our downward bearish channel support. There's support at 240.89. There are some buyers that came in at that price point on June 26th, right here. They came in and they pushed the stock back up. They did not show up right here when we were August 11th. They tried to show up a little bit, We see that they pushed the stock up a little bit, but the sellers were just too strong, and that tug of war was won by the sellers. And now the buyers came in at 212.28 and started to push the stock back up. And then at 240.89 on August 22nd, the buyers were shy a little bit. They were not sure because they had suffered a loss right here, and they were not sure that they were going to win. And then here, August 28, we had some of them that wanted to buy, but then the sellers came and pushed everything back in again. But then on the next day, they had enough courage, and then boom, 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 boom. This is what happened. So right now, they seem to be still there. They seem to be still there because we are stopping, and I would even say that we are rebounding on 240.89 and also 238.11, which is just an extension of our support at 240.89. Let's take a look at the 1-hour chart a little bit to see how this day happened. So yes, it was not looking good during the first candle of the day. The first candle of the day went way down, as I said, at 238.11, but then things started to go back up right here. When you have a big wick at the bottom right here, it's telling us that the buyers came in and pushed the stock back up. We can take a look at it on the 5-minute chart to see exactly what happened in more detail. So the first 5 minutes was pretty bearish, but then the buyers came in, boom, 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 boom. So 5 straight green candles. This is on the 5-minute chart. So the first hour went through, but then we pretty much closed on the first hour, pretty much right smack on 242.05. This is an hourly resistance. And then we started to go higher and higher and higher. And look at this right here. This is what is important. We are into a congestion zone. So we are into a congestion zone between 240.89 and 247. This is where the congestion zone is currently at. We don't have stochastic over 60 yet on the 1-hour chart. So this means that we don't have enough of a move up to be convinced that this is going to continue. So keep that in mind. You can buy at any point in time. You can sell at any point in time. I'm just telling you stuff that can help you decrease risk. So in terms of risk, there's still risk right now because we don't have stochastic over 60. Even if we break 247, which we have pretty much done, well, it seems like the close has changed at 246.99. So in terms of the de-risking aspect, this is a little bit more complex right here. We came outside of our downward resistance, which is a good thing. So now we know that we are going sideways. If we go above 247.01, we are going to know that we are not going sideways, but we are indeed going up. So if we break tomorrow 247, you can consider that a buy signal. If we have stochastic over 60, so I don't know if or when 247 is going to be broken. It could be coming back a little bit and start again. But if we break 247 tomorrow on the 1-hour chart, make sure that we have stochastic over 60 to de-risk completely. You can still buy if we break 247 without stochastic over 60, if you want to take a little bit more chance. You can do your own research and make your own decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I would advise for myself. Now, if we break 247 tomorrow, then we have this big downward resistance that is still hanging over our heads. So even if we break this at 247, we could be caving into that downward resistance. So, just be aware of that. So if you really want to be super sure, then wait also for this downward resistance to be broken. And then at that point, why not wait at 250 also, which is another support, but over 50, the chances are higher that we are going to try and go back and reach 260 eventually. Each time there's a specific event that happens, it changes the risk. 247 is one thing. Stochastic over 60 is one thing. Decreasing downward resistance is another thing. The more of these things you accumulate, the higher the chances are that your trade is going to be successful. I have given you all of the ingredients to bake your cake. Now, break some eggs. So let's go back on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, okay, things are a little bit less interesting. So on the daily chart, we don't see any buy signal yet. On the 1 hour chart, there's way more buy signals, and on the 5-minute chart, even more. So right now, right here on the daily chart, stochastic is at 34. And to have a move up on the daily chart, we need to have stochastic over 60. We have the MACD that has crossed over bearish that happened last week. We have RSI below 50, and we have the MI that's bearish. So, on the daily chart, there's not much we can do. What we know is that we are in this downward channel. And when a stock is into a downward channel, guess what? It goes from one side to the other. But it can go from one side to the other in many different ways. It can go like this, it can go like this, or it can go like this. So we don't know exactly how it is going to go. But on the daily chart, it's possible that we go back right here. Even if we start going higher a little bit, we could still be caving into this downward resistance right here. This is why I don't see a clear-cut buy signal on the daily chart before we break this downward resistance right here. I'm sad to say. I would like to say, oh yes, there's a buy signal right here. There are some that might be coming on the 1 hour chart, but on the daily chart, based on our de-risking rule, we would need to break this downward resistance, and then we would need to break a horizontal resistance. It could be this one at 255 or this one at 260, depending on how fast we are getting outside of this downward channel. So I cannot tell you right now, but these are the de-risking rules on this channel, and it means that we are not close to getting a buy signal on the daily chart yet. But if you are really eager to get in quickly, switch on the 1 hour chart and then wait for blah, 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 and maybe 250. And then you are maybe going to be able to catch a little bit of a swing over 250 up to 260. But then we could be caving in and coming back down. So make sure that you sell at some point. The stock market is like a buffet. If you want to eat something, there's something on the 1 hour chart. And if you are more of a longer term investor, there's the daily chart for you. Let's take a look at some Tesla news. So here are the two most common cars traded for Tesla Model 3. Might surprise you. I've seen some Honda Accords or Priuses or something like that. From September 1st, 2022 to February 28th, 2023, when shopping for the Tesla Model 3, the most common trade-in was a Honda Civic, and the second most common was a Toyota Tacoma. I would not have expected that at all. Top traded in vehicles by type: SUVs, SUV sedans, luxury pickups, sports, and minivans. And the brands Toyota, look at this. Toyota is getting hammered by Tesla. That's quite interesting. So Toyota, BMW, Ford, Honda, Chevrolet, Nissan, Mercedes, and other Teslas and Jeeps. Also, Tesla is considering an EV factory in Thailand, reports Prime Minister after meeting with Elon Musk. Great, we need more Tesla factories. So Tesla has released a video of the Optimus robot that seems to be pretty good at vision system and coordinating vision with its arm. So that's pretty interesting to see. So I suggest that you take a look at this. So we can see that there's a nice progression with the Optimus Prime. Also, Elon mentioned that Tesla has a performance Cybertruck. And Elon mentioned that he had just driven the performance Cybertruck today and it kicks ass next level. So most likely he is talking about the tri-motor all-wheel drive with 500 plus miles of range and 0 to 16, 2.9 seconds, top speed of 130 miles per hour, starting price at 69,000. That's pretty good. Okay, let's take a look at our beloved VIX. So yeah, during the first part of the day, VIX was going super high, and this is why Tesla crossed the 240.89, and then we had a reversal in the VIX, and Tesla came back up. So VIX is down 0.3, 1.75%, closed at 1689. You know, this is caving in a little bit, but it's still quite high. It's almost at the same height as it was on August 18. So maybe we are going to have the same behavior that we had after that. So I don't know anything and nobody's talking to me, but maybe this is what is going to happen. And if we have this move down right here, then we are going to have a nice move up in Tesla. So at least this is going to help us reach us the resistance side of the downward channel, maybe going up instead of going sideways. So this is what this is telling us. Let's look at the bonds. So 10-year bonds is going higher and higher, and we are close to be reaching our resistance side of the bullish channel. So this means that we should be caving in a little bit right here. Let's take a look at Rivian. So Rivian is pausing a little bit on this very little channel that we had in the past. We came very close to sitting on it right here at this point. And now we have a nice, decent green candle. So we are up 54 cents, 2.62%, closed at 21.13. It seems like we want to be bouncing on this. You know, I don't see any buy signal yet until we break this downward resistance. And then the appropriate horizontal resistance, when the time comes, we can identify it. I would be surprised if we would get a buy signal before this week. Xpeng is up 25 cents, 1.52%, closed at 16.69. Post-market, we are up by 0.11. So we are still in our downward channel. Right now, you know, we came here and we started bouncing. We don't have stochastic over 60 and we are still in our downward channel. So there's nothing for us to do. Yep. NEO down 18 cents, 2.11%, closed at 8.35. This is going lower and lower, you know. Let NEO drop. Don't buy because it's a low price. Never buy because it's a low price. This is a stock market. We want a stock to go up. It's one thing to have a stock that is low, but we want a stock that wants to go high. And there's no indication of that yet. VinFast, what a joke. This is continuing down 10% more. Apple is really respecting its support. You know, I cannot make this up. We have support at 174.50. And we've been respecting that support. August, September, we are respecting it. We could be expecting a little bit of a move here. This would not mean that this is bullish. You know, this could just be a pullback. Should just be aware of that. ARM seems to have found its bottom. So, you know, there's a support, you know, let's say at 50. At 50, we have support and nobody wants to sell below 50. So that's one piece of information. And we had a very tiny congestion zone right here, super tiny, 2-candle one at 52.89. That was broken. So, you know, there's no stochastic over 60 yet. There's no indicators yet because stochastic needs a 21-day track record to be able to do its calculation. MACD needs 12 and 26. So we won't be having any technical indicators for a while on this one. Palantir, it's pausing on 13.54. There's no stochastic yet. We are up 9 cents, 0.64%, close at 40.22. There's not much that we can do here. We could be having a buy signal right here when we break this downward resistance and then the horizontal resistance that's just right there. I don't know if we are going to get stochastic over 60 by that point. Not sure. We'll see. Nvidia into its downward channel. Closed up $6.12, 1.47%, closed at 422.22. We are still in the downward channel, so nothing to see here. I doubt we are going to get a buy signal before 440.51. Let's look at our indices a little bit. So Dow Jones is sitting right smack on its downward channel support. This is a textbook move. We are up 0.13%, but we are still in a downward trend, a short-term downward trend. S&P 500, this one is bouncing a little bit. We are up 0.4%, but there is no reason to buy. Nasdaq Composite, we seem to want to stabilize on 13,187. This seems to be a nice support right here. No reason to buy. Physical gold down 9 cents. Still into its downward channel. We are close to the resistance instead of close to the support. So, there's some strength right here. We see that we have a hard time breaking below approximately 1460. We have a hard time breaking below that. Okay, I'm going to call it at 1464. Silver, nothing new here. We are down 14 cents, 1.75%. No time to buy this one yet. Bitcoin is caving in a little bit, so we lost support at 26,517. So the buyers are kind of disappearing a little bit. And we were very close to getting stochastic over 60 and, quite close to break this downward resistance, but, it did not happen. It's just caving in. Ripple is up 0.29%. We have stochastic over 60, so there's still force in that one. So maybe we are going to get a move up. I would not buy before 0.548. And USDX is continuing its move up 0.32%. So let's not get too excited. On the daily chart, everything is bearish. We could be having soon a little bit of a pullback, but the pullback does not mean that we are changing our downward trend. So let's not get things confused. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.